Interplanetary Stalker and Reflux were just buffed and fixed. What does that mean for Flak mains? It means 3-shot Fade Flak is back and better than ever. Today, we're gonna be breaking it down. Now, before we get into the video, be sure to come check me out over on Twitch. I will be doing my first sponsored live stream this Sunday on the official Borderlands channel at 12 p.m. Eastern. Links will be in the description. Now, getting straight into the build, we have been featuring 3-shot Fade Flak on my channel by Ratore for some time now. Those of you who don't know Ratore, he is the Flak master himself. And for those of you who do know him, you know that this build is min-maxed to the extreme. So first, we're gonna talk about the weapons. Hopping straight into the game, basically you can use whatever weapon you want. Now, like I said, we will be focusing on the Reflux, and I will be talking about the Cosmic Stalker class mod after they recently fixed Interplanetary Stalker. Now, the Reflux right now does some insane things. It's pretty much just like it used to be, shredding through any content in the game. You guys can see that in some of the background footage right now. Basically, you are just gonna be looking for the next 2 magazine anointment. It doesn't matter if you have a ×7 or ×14, although I prefer ×7. You basically just want to element match for whatever mobs you are fighting. And then, like I said, you can pretty much use whatever weapons you want. I am gonna be showing some bossing clips. I like using the Hedgehog right now, just because it's very fun. Torg stickies are very fun for me, but you can use light shows, you can use monarchs, flippers, backburners, plague bearers. Seriously, whatever you want, as long as it is a good gun in this game, it'll do work. We've got the gargoyle in my inventory. I've even got a stagecoach and a Robin's Call here, ion cannons, backburners, plague bearers, tons of different stuff here, and tons of different things to mess around with. I also enjoyed the OPQ system a little bit for mobbing. It's pretty fun, and the light show. Now, going into the shield, you pretty much just always want to rock damaging shields. Now, if you don't like, if you want a bit more survivability in the setup, you can actually use the Frozen Heart with the action skill start anointment. I don't have one on me right now to show you guys. You can also use the Frozen Snowshoe as well. Those shields are pretty cool, and they give you lots of extra survivability by freezing enemies and giving you health back. But otherwise, we are mainly sticking to the Old God shields. Like I said, you really just need to element match to whatever you are fighting, and you can stick on some amp shields for bossing, but it's not necessary. Now, in the grenade slot, we mainly want to stick to the Hunter Seeker or the Recurring Hex. The Hunter Seeker can actually crit with Megavore and give you some synergies inside of Flex skill trees with head count and leave no trace. Now, generally, that is not necessary at all when we're using the Reflux. The biggest synergy is when using launchers. Stuff like the Hedgehog, you see me constantly spamming these Hunter Seeker grenades, and that is giving us ammo back so we can stick more Torg stickies onto our enemies. You can do the same thing with Plague Bearers so that you never have to reload, and so on. When it comes to the artifact, we are sticking to the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge. If you guys don't have the DLC, then just go ahead and grab a Victory Rush with the best passives you can find. You see we have a couple different ones here. And finally, I want to talk about the Cosmic Stalker class mod. Now, I would say that the Bounty Hunter was generally the best class mod for Flak, just because of that ability on it, activating hunt kill skills. But with Interplanetary Stalker fixed, Cosmic Stalker is now correctly buffing the skill. Now, what's really cool though is that you actually have some decisions to make. Ultimately, the Cosmic Stalker will get you more damage while mobbing than the Bounty Hunter, but the Bounty Hunter, it is worth noting that you will get a bigger, like kind of a kickstart before you start mobbing. The 3% chance to activate the hunt kill skills, really, like you really will feel that when you are using the Bounty Hunter. So if you have the Bounty Hunter on, your start to mobbing engagements will be faster and stronger, but overall the Cosmic Stalker actually boosts Interplanetary Stalker correctly now. You can actually get up to 26% damage, and Interplanetary Stalker is V1. Now, I'm gonna toss a little damage equation up on the top of the screen right now. V1 is just a different damage type that pretty much only Flak has access to, and it is a very strong damage type for that reason. It's essentially just multiplicative, but there's more to the damage formula than just calling something multiplicative, but it is a very good damaging type. And you can see my Cosmic Stalker does have 3 into big game and 2 into Interplanetary Stalker. So these kind of are the god top rolls to get the biggest boost from this skill. But at the same time, Either way, you are gonna get like amazing damage bonuses, and you do have that. Like you can pick whichever class mod you want. The Bounty Hunter is great for mobbing. I chose to ward the Cosmic Stalker in all of the footage. Now, finally, let's go over the skill tree. So let's go ahead and drop this for a second. We have got a pretty standard setup. We're actually using no points into Blue Tree, no points into Persistence Hunter, and that is because we are cycling Fadeaway. Our goal is to get in and out of Fadeaway as many times as possible. We are using these two action, skill, and augments, and I specifically call them that because we want to end Fadeaway. We want to get Not My Circus. We want to get Until You're Dead active. We want to get our anointments active, especially on the reflex, the next 2 magazine anointment, and then the bonus elements on grenade and shield. This is going to give us insane damage bonuses for mobbing. On top of that, it gives you the ultimate control of your Fadeaway. If you are in a situation where you need to escape, then activate Fadeaway and stop shooting. You can sit in Fadeaway for the full duration, get some health regen back, and then start shooting, trigger your action, skill, and augments and anointments. Even though we are using like fully automatic weapons, the reflux, the light show, this is still giving us way more damage overall and way more versatility than if we were using Gorillas in the Mist. And I really, really want to point that out, is that the action, skill, and anointments will ultimately do more for us in the long run. And Gorillas in the Mist really locks us into that 5 seconds of being stuck in Fadeaway, number 1, so we're not able to trigger our anointments when we want to, and number 2, when we want to stay in Fadeaway longer, we just don't have that option anymore. So do not use Gorillas in the Mist. Gorillas in the Mist, in my opinion, is a bossing augment with something like the Monarch and the Light Show. Because they are so fast firing, you can actually get more damage using Gorillas, but that is like something to use on Grave Ward or Captain Trot. And not necessarily for mobbing, and not even for Wotan. Now, personally, I don't even use this augment, but I think I've talked enough about it. So in the green tree, we have 5 into Furious Attack, 5 into Overclocked, 3 into Turn Till and Run. We picked up all my BFFs and Lick the Wounds, 5 into Hidden Machine. And Hidden Machine, we will be getting this bonus a lot when we are using Not My Circus, and it's another important reason to be able to control Fadeaway. If we cycle through Fadeaway and use our attack commands a couple times, we can actually use the pet to aggro draw to give us this Hidden Machine bonus more often. 5 points into Rage and Recover. They also recently fixed this skill, so we're getting the correct amount of health regen, and being able to sit and Fadeaway, get our health regen from Rage and Recover, and so on. It's just a very nice addition to Flak. 3 points into Fast and the Furious. This is just a great skill. And then 1 point into Power Inside. Now the Power Inside is another V1 bonus. This is a very strong skill, and I really recommend you guys pick this up. And into Red Tree, you guys know we maxed out our damaging skills. We maxed out our reload speed, leave no trace, head count, big game, because this is finally giving us that bonus to Interplanetary Stalker. The most dangerous game as well, Galactic Shadow, and then Megavore. Now, that is pretty much it for the skill tree, for the build. Some of the different tips I can give for the playstyle. Like I said, spam Fadeaway, trigger your action skill and anointments, and your action skill and augments. It is very powerful. It's gonna give you guys great results. And then make sure to sit in Fadeaway when you need that health regen or that escape from enemy fire and stuff like that. You know, toss on a Frozen Heart Shield if you have a little bit of trouble with survivability. And before we end the video, I'm gonna hop into Mayhem modifiers. Everybody always questions me on these, and I always forget to include them in the build. Basically, I avoid damage reduction. One thing I want to say, which is a trap, is the very hard modifier Holy Crit. This is actually a trap. You will overall get a DPS decrease if you're using the reflux. The chains don't always crit. Sometimes they don't hit crits, and actually most of the time they don't crit. So Holy Crit is actually a DPS decrease. Use something like Postmortem, use something like Buddy System, although I really recommend Postmortem on Flak, because number 1, Flak has a very easy time in Fight for Your Life, because he has more than enough damage to get right back up out of it. And on top of that, Flak can kill Death Skulls with a reflux. I literally shoot Death Skulls with the reflux sometimes, which, even though it's a mobbing weapon, it has more than enough single target damage to get rid of Death Skulls. They're not that strong, so I really recommending running like as close to this set of modifiers as possible. And another thing I want to recommend is actually OK Boomer. Remember that trick with the hedgehog and grenades, or if you want to use a plague bearer, using something like OK Boomer, giving you more grenades. If you're someone who likes to spam the plague bearer for mobbing, that can be something fun for you to do. But otherwise, guys, that is it for this video and the build. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Definitely check out the reflex after it was buffed. Definitely check out Interplanetary Stalker after it was buffed. That's going to be it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.